Hey everybody, welcome. And we're really excited. We're going to be talking about AI made simple for tour operators. This is a really hot topic right now. We're putting out some resources. Kelsey's doing a lot of training on it. So if you guys don't know, Kelsey is the founder of Guest Focus, which is tour business coaching. Kelsey has spent 2 decades helping tour business owners as a mentor, consultant, speaker, experience designer, guide trainer, and award-winning tour leader. Since 2015, his programs or their programs have helped over 2,000 tour operators, probably some of you guys on here across the world. And he's regularly attending speaking events, and he's an amazing speaker. So we're really excited to have him on again. He's been a guest a few times. So, all right, Kelsey, I'm going to kick it off to you and keep bringing people in. So it's all yours.
Fantastic. Thanks very much. A lot of kind words there. I hadn't think the check arrived that fast, but that's fantastic, Nikki. I definitely cashed that. Joking aside, this is what we do, myself, and we now have a team of 12 tour and activity business coaches and mentors from across the United States, Canada, and Western Europe. As mentioned, I'm originally from Nova Scotia, Canada, on the East Coast, but now married into the West Coast and live here just between Vancouver and Whistler. We've got lots of snow in the mountains, and everyone's gearing up for a great start to the ski season and all that good stuff. Today, Abby, one quick thought. I don't know if there's a way that you can make me a co-host, but some of those dings that are coming in, those are just from folks that haven't muted themselves. So it's a good thing just off the top, just keep yourself muted if you aren't talking, and that will try and keep some of the background noise down. I don't think we have too much else to say that Nikki didn't say, other than we essentially are tour business coaching, but really, really niche down into what many of us are doing every day, which is right here in this tours activities sector. So it's wonderful to be here today. Our topic, gosh, AI made simple for tour operators. We could take this in lots of different directions. What I wanted to do is share a very practical tool here today. And the key is really going to be in the second part around marketing strategies. So I'm going to introduce to you a concept called our VIP marketing method. This is something that we use in the guest focus coaching program. It's something that we share, but I'm also going to share, just essentially for free, one of these tools that we're using that leverages AI to help you rapidly create essentially content brainstorm for the types of content that's really going to resonate with your ideal target guest. So I think what I'll do is start with a quick explanation of that. So let's pull up. I think this will work. Let's try it. Actually, no, I did select the wrong one. We're going to share again this one. Okay. So let me get my grid over here so I can see you guys. I've got that chat open. I've got another window if you see me kind of looking over this way. So if you do have questions as we're going through, by all means, do it. One question I have is just by a show of hands, if you are able to flip on your camera, it's great. I'd love the visual feedback. So if I see confused looks, or I see you sort of like nodding off or leave entirely, that might be a good indication that, hey, I might need to move along or make things a little more clear. But here's a quick question by show of hands. We can do this in a couple of different ways. I want to do a demo of the tool. The bulk of what we're going to be doing is a quick demo. Does anyone here have an ideal target? Let's say for us, it's ideal target guest avatar, but ideal customer avatar. There's a few different ways. Does somebody have one of those kind of ready to go in a document form? Yeah, for those that have done this. Kent, if you want to flip off mute for a second, I saw your hand go up there. Remind me your business. What are you up to? I'll get you just asked to unmute.
I'm trying. How's that?
There you go.
Are we there? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my business, I work with mostly retirees, active seniors, 55 to 80 mostly. Here in Colorado Springs, Colorado, we have a really good retirement community here. This is an area where we have 5 military bases, and a lot of those officers and families and wives remain here.
What are some of your tours and experiences?
Oh, we do day trips throughout the Front Range of Colorado. We have a lot of really rich areas here for history, geology, outdoor recreation, professional sports, cultural activities, live theater, you name it. We
Right.
have it right
Good.
here on the Colorado front
Good
yard.
summary.
And
Are
and
you
it,
are you game for being a demo? We could potentially use your business and try and do some content brainstorming in real time. Are you all right with that?
Oh, that's fine. And we're not, I'm not really up and running with this business so far. I'm still working as a tour guide for other companies, but I'm working
Ah, okay. So you're in
on
early
this
stages.
business plan.
Okay, so we might go to someone else. Jim, I saw you raise your hand. Jim, do you have a customer avatar in a business that's sort of live?
I do.
Okay. Would you be open to, and Abby, maybe you can help with us, just in the chat, if you can send a link to your website, and then secondly, if you can email me, just kelsey@guestfocus.com. Maybe Abby, you can post that email in the chat. Just a link to that avatar. And then what we can do is, I've got a backup. I can use a company here in Vancouver, but it might be more fun to maybe work with somebody live and we can see if we can get this working. Is that something you'd be able to do, Jim? Is shoot a quick customer avatar
I'm trying to send you the text message um
in Zoom?
in Zoom. It's for some reason giving me an error, which is weird. I've never had that happen before. It says read.ai meeting note is not in this meeting. Let me see what's
Yeah, it
happening
might
here.
just use that email, kelsey@guestfocus.com. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kick things off and I'll check my email. If that has come through, we'll move ahead with you. And if not, I've got a backup ready and we'll just roll with that just in the interest of time. So if you can get that sent over to kelsey@guestfocus.com. Abby has pulled up a website there too, Wine Tours of Sedona. If that's you, then we can roll with that too. Beautiful. Let me pull up here. Yeah, so this is what we're going to be talking about here today. There we go. AI made simple for tour operators. But like I mentioned, what I really want to focus on is this quick introduction to the VIP marketing method. And so this was our best effort to really try and reduce the overwhelm that's often associated with marketing for tours, activities, and experiences. Many of us were not trained marketers or sales folks. You know, we're pretty good at what? At creating experiences, maybe hosting them, giving people memory of a lifetime. But we don't necessarily have that background in marketing. So it can feel pretty overwhelming. So the guest focused VIP marketing method is essentially a marketing framework that is especially for tour and activity operators. That's the whole concept, really. We looked at what some of the most successful tour and activity business owners on the planet were doing, and we wanted to try and systematize and make it a really like no nonsense way that you can ultimately get down to marketing. So there's three core elements that we need to understand, and part of this you're going to see how the why we built the tool we did it. So this will only take 2 minutes to kind of hopefully wrap your head around it. Some of this you'll recognize. So VIP is essentially it's an acronym standing for the three things that we want to have happening with your marketing as a tour and activity business. This approach builds on our core philosophy, a guest focused coaching, that your success is really dependent on and powered by staying obsessed with your ideal target guest. If you can be essentially customer focused, guest centric in everything you're doing, from the design of your tours to the sales pages to the marketing campaigns, that's ultimately the key to your success. And many of us have that great guest focus when they actually come on tour and we deliver that wow and delight them. But we really want to extend that guest care and focus across things like sales and marketing as well. So the three core elements on here. First is our marketing needs to be valuable, meaning providing genuine value to our ideal target guests through inspiring, educational or entertaining content. I think I put the other image in. Yeah. So you can kind of see here's the three parts. So the first one's valuable. This is essentially content marketing. You may have heard this before. We want to provide value to our ideal target guests before they even buy from us. Without the expectation necessarily that they are ultimately going to buy from us. It's kind of this principle of reciprocity. The other thing that your marketing needs to do is create that intimacy. So it needs to be intimate. What do we mean here? We mean you need to build trust. We need to build rapport, and ideally, eventually, loyalty with your ideal target guests. And we do this by humanizing your brand and trying to really create meaningful, personal, and sort of human to human connections. We can do this, you see here down in the intimacy section in the bottom left, through connection, through community conversation. So this intimacy is really a safeguard against what is essentially a tidal wave of distrust and uncertainty that is going to be hitting us more than normal. I think in the online world and over the last 5 to 10 years, we've become increasingly aware that, hey, there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of scams out there. There was increasing awareness of how to navigate the online world. But now, with this wave of AI generated content, with a wave of AI generated images and AI generated video, there's going to be increasing skepticism uh, of almost everything that we're seeing, including our own abilities to determine, is this a real business? Is this like, it'll be very, very easy to create in no time, and many AI services are offering this now, all kinds of AI images that are going to be indistinguishable from the real world, real photos. And so we can very quickly create the illusion of a business, the illusion of having lots and lots of reviews. And so this intimacy of the VI and P marketing method is going to help protect us against that. And it's getting back to this basically bringing the human beings to the forefront. Sometimes as we grow or as we scale, we think, oh, I have to look more professional by hiding the people behind this veneer of a very professional business. That is not our approach at all. We really want some of that authenticity and essentially the humanity to come through in your business. And then the third element is this pervasiveness. What do we mean by pervasiveness? Your marketing needs to be pervasive, which is, put another way, is a consistent omni-channel presence across the places your ideal target guests are spending their time and attention. So this doesn't mean, hey, you've got to be everywhere all at once, the sort of omnipresence, but it's omnipresence for your particular ideal target guests. So this is in contrast to, let's say, hey, I just focus on Google Ads. And so, hey, if they happen to type in these certain keywords, I'm going to focus on that channel. We really need an omni-channel where, yes, maybe we're also showing up in an Instagram feed. Hey, are we also showing up in their inboxes, or potentially in an SMS message, or in a WhatsApp community, or a Facebook group, etc. So when you have all three of things going, and many of you are probably doing some of this in the marketing that you are doing now. Each is powerful on its own. The true magic happens when we get all three going. You can kind of see this flywheel. And we need to combine this across every step of the ideal target guest journey. So let's have a look at the next stage here. This is the last thing I want to cover, and then we're going to jump right into the tool. So dreaming, planning, booking, experiencing, and sharing. These are the 5 stages that Google identified in terms of the customer journey for travel. They did a massive, massive study because they realized, wow, people are leveraging Google for booking their travel experiences, researching, doing all of these steps. And so they did a massive report. This was about a decade ago. And so we essentially want to apply this VIP marketing method across these different stages. And so what we mean by the dreaming phase is when people are just considering a trip, maybe considering a destination, but they're not very aware of it. They're almost certainly not aware that you exist as an operator or an experience provider in that destination yet. And so a lot of the content that they're consuming or research falls more into, candidly, this sort of inspirational type content, lots of media and images. People are inspired by that beautiful landscape in Fiji or in Iceland, or some interesting fact or something really compelling, or maybe an event that's happening in your city or your destination. As we move down into the planning phase, this is essentially a marketing funnel. We're going to be moving people downwards to the point of purchase, and then obviously the experiencing and sharing is then afterwards, right? But essentially what we're talking about here is a marketing funnel, because there's lots of people in that dreaming phase. But as you get down, how many people then get to the planning phase, where now they have maybe a more concrete commitment of some kind? Maybe they booked flights, or they're getting into the stage of researching. What's the best way to get there? How long should I be staying? What are the things to do in this destination? What's that hit list or hot list of things that myself, my loved ones, my friends, my family, my colleagues are going to do in that destination? This is a very different type of searching, and the type of content, if we're thinking about how do we provide value at the planning stage, is actually quite a bit different than the dreaming stage. Likewise, when they get down to this booking stage, now, ideally, if we've done our marketing well, they are now very much aware of your tour and activity business. But we're not quite ready to book yet. What do we typically do? Well, as we just discussed, we might have some distrust. We might want to do some due diligence. Are we looking at online review sites? Absolutely. Are we trying to, maybe get some other personalized recommendations? Are we reviewing things like your cancellation policy? The maybe hesitations or concerns that people have about oh, I don't know, can you can you accommodate my young children? Can you accommodate my dietary preferences? All of those things are right there in that booking phase, right before they're ready to make that booking. And so we can have content that is aimed at that particular phase. Is this kind of making sense? Any sort of questions about this large funnel? And it is a funnel because it's large at the top. And then as we get down, there's fewer and fewer people who are ultimately doing the planning and fewer people who finally get to that booking stage. And then ultimately, when you get to the experience stage, that's when they've made the purchase. And now we are, we want them to have an incredible experience with us. And then ultimately, they are then sharing at the end of the day, sharing their experiences. They can be posting on social media, that type of stuff. But also, more importantly, that all important word of mouth marketing, right? When they're sharing their experiences. We love talking about travel, that type of thing. Okay, let's get into a demo. Abby, could you share in the chat a link to what is essentially going to be a Google Sheet? So like I said, this is something that we've been doing in our coaching program. We're going to give you a little sneak peek of how we can use AI to rapidly do two things. But first and foremost, I'll walk you through if you want to follow along on screen. Abby's going to share in the chat that marketing blueprint. This is what we call it. I'm going to make a copy. Just going to walk you through. If you're not super familiar with Google Docs, there's a couple things that are going to happen. This is all going to happen in your a Google account. We all have a Google account of some account, whether or not you're using Gmail, but essentially it should open up, and this is your own copy of it. So essentially, this is a nice way for us to each be working on something that's going to be relevant for our business. You can rename it here at the top. So I might say, demo Resmark. You can name this whatever you want. And then this little move thing here is a nice way if you do want to move this to a particular location in your drive, or you want to find it. But give it a name that you can ideally find it again. There's going to be a few things that you're going to get to spend more time, right, with this document. It's something we want you to take home, run with, hopefully get some great results, and then reach out to us. Let us know what you were able to achieve with it. And like I said, this is kind of the tip of the iceberg of some of the stuff that we're doing in the program. So if you like this, we've got plenty more. Here's the start here. It kind of gives you a sense of what this document is, what this tool is. But notice these tabs along the bottom. This is really where we have a few things going on. First thing that we're going to do a quick demo on today is this VIP marketing blueprint. So the whole premise is when we're using AI, it's really important to make sure that we give generative AI the context about who we are as a business. For example, your company description, your market niche, as well as our ideal target guest. Who is it that we're serving? For any sales materials, any marketing materials, we have to be very, very, very specific for this to be effective. If this is general, if this is vague, you're going to get general and vague marketing, which is just not effective. So I'll mention this once. I might repeat it again later, but if you have multiple different customer segments that you're serving, let's say, for example, you sometimes have bachelorette groups, and maybe it's a significant part of your business. I would have a different VIP marketing blueprint for those bachelorette groups because they're a different vertical, they're a different niche. The way that we sell to them, the offer that you put together for a bachelorette group should be quite a bit different than maybe someone like myself who's traveling with young kids. Likewise, for the different verticals that you might be serving, if you have a corporate segment you're doing something focused on local businesses, let's say around the holiday time. Just know we can't cram all of those different avatars into one marketing blueprint. Okay, so from here, you'll just see it's not that long, but we have the key elements of this marketing blueprint. Here's where we're going to paste in our answers. And we kind of have an AI prompt generator, we just call it, but these are AI prompts that are going to help you fill out your answers. So I'm going to do a quick demo of that. Continuing in the tabs along the bottom, here's an example. So we always try to provide a filled out example so it can give you a bit of a flavor. So this is for Vancouver Water Adventures, one of the companies that we work with in our coaching program. It'll give you a bit of a flavor of what this looks like filled out. Second thing that we're going to do, we're going to be mindful of our time, so we'll move right along, but is this content brainstorm. So we were talking about, okay, what sort of content could we create in the dreaming phase for that part of our marketing funnel? What type of content could we create in the planning phase? And you'll see here on top, we have an AI prompt that's battle tested. We've honed this, we've tweaked it, we've adopted it, we've leveraged it. And ultimately, we'll demonstrate, hopefully, if there's time here, how you can get this content and then we'll actually paste it down into the bottom. And then we have some examples along the bottom there as well. So you can kind of see for the Vancouver Water Adventures, what were some of the examples that we came up with. And at the highest possible level, when we're thinking about this content brainstorm, essentially what we're doing here is we're going to urge you, as you can think here, I think we say generate like 30 or something like that. So you generate a lot more than you ultimately need. But our goal here, I think we put this in our instructions, is to ultimately choose 24 pieces of seed content, 8 from each phase. So think about this as an annual calendar. If you were going to create a piece of content, if we're going to commit to being valuable, and then when we get to the pervasiveness part of our coaching program, we talk about how the seed content can be repurposed. So yeah, this can go to a Facebook group. Yeah, this could be pushed out in an email. Yes, this could live on your website as a blog post. We can repurpose it. But let's just start with this kernel, the seed content. If we're going to commit to doing this every 2 weeks, here in one session, or maybe with some dedicated time after the session, you're going to be able to come up with a full, essentially a content calendar for the entire year. And a great place to start is like, let's just get 8 from each. 8 in our dreaming phase, 8 in the planning phase, 8 in the booking phase. Cool. Hopefully that gives you a high level of what we're up to. Let me just see if I go to, Safari, let me pull up my email. Let's see if I was able to get an email. Hey, Jim, I just got an email from you here. Okay, let's give this a shot. So Jim, let me just see. I want to grab your website, because one of the first things that we can do to kind of fast track this, I'm just going to go through piece by piece. We're going to have some Q&A at the end, maybe after we finish this marketing blueprint. We'll do a quick pause and we can ask any questions. But let's first build out this VIP marketing blueprint. So let's pull up our chat. Where did our Zoom chat go? So I know your website was in there. It's probably here in the email too. Wine Tours of Sedona. Is that it? Do you want to pop yourself off mute for a second? winetoursofsedona.com, is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so we'll pull it up here. Some people are asking, whoops, it didn't copy properly. Let's try that again. In terms of generative AI, like what is it, how it works, that's not what we're going to focus on here today. There's lots of content online that can give you the intro. We're going to recommend using ChatGPT. The other one I really do love is Claude as well. Claude is by Anthropic. We can even play, once we get to that last stage, we can post the same prompt into Claude versus ChatGPT just to get a sense of what we might be able to learn from them. Okay, so here's the Wine Tours of Sedona. Here's what I would recommend for our first prompt, why we are different. Yeah, there's lots of great information in here. So here's what I'm going to do just to speed things up. I'm going to hit Command A or Control A, just to give you a flavor of how quickly we can leverage ChatGPT and Claude. The context window has gotten so big that we can now just copy essentially a whole website here. Not a whole website, but certainly a whole homepage. We're going to come over to ChatGPT and I'm going to paste everything in, right? Just paste it in. Then basically what I'm going to do is come back to this prompt. So you can kind of see, what's a way I could do this? I could probably shrink this in a little bit so it'll be easier for you to read. You can also see in the bar on top. So there's 2 places that you can do this. It's important that we fill this out top to bottom. But basically, based on the following text from my tour company's website, summarize in 1 to 2 sentences what we do in the main experience we offer. So I'm going to copy this prompt. I'm just selecting that cell, right? Copying it, and I'll go back to ChatGPT. I'm just going to paste that in. Let's see if it's smart enough to pick that up. And again, notice how I didn't worry too much about, oh, I copied the menu, oh, it had rights reserved, it had a bunch of other things in there. Now, sometimes this happens with ChatGPT. Oh, there we go. It's decided to show up for work. All right, how does this sound? We'll get your Jim as we go. We provide private, fully customizable wine, beer, and chocolate tours in Sedona and the Verde Valley, tailored to your interest, palette, and schedule. Complimentary pickup, flexible start times, focus on creating relaxed, personalized experience. We aim to make every tour unforgettable. How does that sound? Thumbs up. Okay. So we'll go back to our demo. Actually, I'll close this one just so we're not doubling up here. Yeah, here's our demo. So all I'm going to do is paste without formatting, which is just that Command Shift V or on a Mac Control Shift V. Paste without formatting is a nice way. Now, here's what's kind of cool about this. We've built this with formulas. So if you fill it out top to bottom, it's automatically going to pull in your answer from here. So I'm going to say, hey, you're a marketing researcher working for the following company. And then I just have some code that's automatically going to pull in this answer. So it kind of builds on itself as you work your way down. Again, the goal is just to make this as efficient as possible for you. Here we're going to talk about your market niche. So I'm just going to copy this prompt. We designed the prompts that you could pick this up and start a brand new conversation with the prompts. So I would recommend continuing in the same thread, but you don't have to. If you need to like leave it and come back, that's totally fine. So here, okay, this is interesting. So ChatGPT may be struggling a little bit here. Let's try that again. Try again. All right, see if this is a good description of our niche. Essentially, private, customizable wine, beer, and chocolate tours. We focus on guests, focus on flexibility. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Again, for you and your tour business, you can go in and edit this. If you want to give it some feedback in conversation, we can do this. So here's that your ideal target guest. Ideally here, I would upload a full, much more, I would say, in-depth profile. So like if you've worked with a marketing agency before and they have put together quite an in-depth demographic profile. If you have information about where are they spending their time, what are the books that they read, what are some of their challenges, what are some of those deeper emotional desires that they have, some of their deeper frustrations, all of that is going to help you build that in. So again, with this context window, keep in mind you can attach, like here, upload from your computer. And so Jim, I'm going to paste in yours, which was relatively short. But again, the more context and detail you can provide, the better. So in the email, this is avatar is women. Do we want to say American women, Jim? Or are they from a particular part of the USA?
They're from Arizona, Texas, California, New York, Illinois.
You said Arizona, Texas, New York.
California.
Okay, we'll just leave it there for now. Just give it a little more flavor. California, ages 25, 65. Yeah, okay, that's great. So we'll go back to here. We're gonna quickly pull this. Again, I'm copying not from the formula bar up here, just as a quick note, if you've used Excel and Sheets, if you copy from up here, it's gonna just pull B4, which actually we don't want that code. We actually just want it to copy from down here where the actual cell, because that's where you'll see it building on itself. So I'll go back here. I'm just going to say customer avatar. Again, if you have yours in a document, you can just upload them to many of these ChatGPT or Claude these days, which is great. And I'm going to paste that whole prompt. Now, I'm not going to read through every one of these prompts. Again, this is just a demo. Feel free to read the prompt. But basically what we're doing is trying to create a summary of that ideal target guest based on some of the info that we have. Let's see how this comes out. Our ideal target guest, sophisticated woman, age 25, 65 from Arizona, Texas, New York, California, six-figure income, enjoys luxurious travel experiences, values quality over quantity, preferring thoughtfully curated tours that offer personalization, relaxation, intimate connection with her surroundings. She's passionate about wine and gourmet treats. Does this sound pretty good, Jim, so far? Again, we could give it feedback here where we say, hey, could you add in, maybe people from Seattle? Hey, here's some additional, influencers that you might follow. You can tweak this, you can edit this. Anyway, let's copy this. All this is building towards what is essentially a really powerful way to give ChatGPT and AI a lot of context about what we're up to, who we are serving. The specific problem that you're solving. How would you describe that right now, Jim? The specific problem that you're solving?
I feel like the problem that we would be solving is people are looking for more intimate experiences while here. There's a lot of tour companies in the area that I live in, but a lot of them do what I would call that cookie cutter tour experience or Disneyland tour experience. And what
Yep.
my company offers is those private, personalized tours where we really get to know our clients. They get to know us, and they kind of leave like feeling like they went on a tour with an old friend or something. So it's way beyond just a tour. Our clients often give us hugs at the end of the tours. They have such a great time. It's really nice.
Great. So here's the prompt. We said, hey, you're a market researcher working for the following company. I want a one-paragraph description of the core problem my products and services will be solving in the first person plural. Here's the market niche. Here's my ideal target customer. So notice how we're building in this document. Let's see what this came up with as we get the answer here. We solved the core problem of impersonal, rushed, and cookie-cutter tour experiences by offering private, fully customizable wine, beer, and chocolate tours in Sedona and Verde Valley. Pretty spot on, right? In terms of what you just
Yes,
shared.
it's exactly what I just said.
Yeah. Our guests often struggle to find high quality luxury experiences that cater to their interests, schedule, or desire for personalized attention. You provide flexibility, exclusivity, relaxed pace. We ensure our tours meet those refined tastes and high expectations. Oh my gosh. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So as long, again, you don't have to accept anything that's coming out of this. Do the editing, give it feedback as needed. Let's go ahead. Oops, I forgot to do the paste without formatting. And I've selected the wrong one. Specific problem we're solving. Let's just do it this way then. Enter. Okay, so now we've got that. Now we get into the most interesting part, I would say. We're going to look at the top 10 challenges, top 10 desires, and top 10 objections of our ideal target guests as it relates to your particular product or service. So you probably have a sense of this, but this is going to be key as we move to that next stage of creating content that is what? Valuable. Okay, so here's what that prompt looks like. Well, you're a marketing researcher working for the following company. Your task is to list top 10 challenges that your ideal target guest might be experiencing when it comes to B6. We're going to pull in that specific problem. What's really worrying them or creating a problem, et cetera, et cetera. You don't have to worry about the prompt. We're just going to go on back and paste this in. And hopefully what you're seeing is these prompts are getting longer because we're giving it this additional context. That's why we call them kind of prompt generators. So I want you to have a look at this list. You can also seed this, Jim, if we're going to go through this list very quickly, but let's say that there's a challenge in here that isn't represented. Of course, we would want that reflected. Use your personal insights about your guests to make this as accurate as possible. See if this reads, finding unique and high quality experiences. I'm so tired of cookie cutter tours. I want something unique and special. Everything feels so generic these days. Balancing relaxation with a luxurious experience. I don't want to feel rushed. I want to enjoy the moment without feeling like I'm on a schedule. Does that reflect some of what you've heard from guests?
Yes.
Personalization, attention to detail, avoiding crowds and group tours. I can't stand big groups or feeling like I'm just another number. Privacy is key. I want quality time with my group, not a bunch of strangers. This all seems pretty on point.
This is exact. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy these 10 things. Oh, ChatGPT is going to disappear on us here. Come on back. So you see what I'm doing there is just refreshing. Sometimes there's a lot of people obviously using these tools these days. That's why it's nice to also have the backup. Okay, there's these 10 challenges. Bang, I'm just going to paste them in. Those challenges are going to be pulled into our content brainstorming. Top 10 desires. Now, we might see some overlap here. Essentially, a desire and often a challenge are two sides of the same coin, right? We're just framing them using different language. It also teases out this opportunity for people to describe their kind of dream scenarios or that wish list or what does that easy button look like. So yeah, we see the same similar themes, connection with local culture and scenery. The scenery here is stunning, but I want to experience in a way that's immersive and memorable. Quality over quantity, that flexibility and freedom. I want the option to linger longer if I'm enjoying a vineyard or tasting. That'd be a desire, right, for the experience, their ideal experience. I don't want to deal with logistics. I want everything taken care of so I can just enjoy myself. Tour that handles all the details and transportation would be ideal. And opportunities for indulgence. I want to taste amazing wines and maybe bring a few bottles home, looking for something indulgent, like pairing wines with chocolate or enjoying a gourmet meal. This seemed to be in line with some of the desires. Any other desire that comes to mind that maybe you haven't seen emerge yet?
This is pretty spot on. I'm very impressed.
Okay, the third one is where you might have some insights as well, which is what are objections? Oftentimes, we're not thinking enough about, hey, what are some of the biggest concerns, hesitations, or objections? So again, you could read through this prompt, but it's basically designed in a way, and again, we've honed these over the last year and a half to get better and better results. Oh, network error. All right, let's see if we can get it to refresh. Try again. I like that first one, which comes up a lot of times, but obviously cost concerns. I don't mind paying for luxury, but I really need to know it's truly exceptional for what I'm spending, right? Is this really worth the price? Uh, Uncertainty about value. I've been let down by other tours before. I'm not sure if I can fit this into my already packed travel schedule. Did that come up?
So that comes up. The biggest one that comes up is them not seeing the value in our tours versus the cookie cutter tours.
Yep. Yep. The
Them
lack of
seeing
local.
like a them seeing like a cookie cutter tour that's a quarter of the price or half the price, not realizing, hey, they're going to be paying for their wine tastings and it's going to be the same cost as my tour in the end without the private nature.
Yeah, you got it. Okay, cool. I like that that's captured in the first one. Okay, so I just want to show basically what we did there is we by giving some initial context, we then asked ChatGPT in this case, based on its knowledge of the world, all the information that it's ingested, to brainstorm on challenges, desires, and objections. And what it in niche after niche, business after business that we're working with, we're blown away by the how relevant and accurate the results are here. Now, again, this might miss the mark for you. We always have this caveat when we want to go in, and just because of the interest in time, and we're kind of short on it, we're going to push through into that next content generation. But you can really do two things here. One, hopefully you'll be as impressed as I've been and Jim here with these results, how quickly and accurately it can bring forth information about your ideal target guest and maybe kind of remind you of some things in terms of hesitations or concerns that may not be the top of our mind, but are actually great for creating content and useful content. It's like, well, yeah, we can address some of these concerns or hesitations, or we can see their desires or meet them at one of their frustrations and challenges and create some content that is going to provide value to them to help them overcome that challenge and navigate it. The second thing you do, of course, is which we didn't do here as much, is leverage some of your own first-person data. What are some of those questions and concerns that you get emailed every day? We all get the same sort of questions, concerns, and hesitations. If those are not reflected in here, let's get them added. Okay, so that's it. This is our marketing blueprint. And again, you'd want to do this for each different vertical or each different subgroup or niche. So again, Jim, if you had a focus on corporate tours in that greater Sedona area and you focus on local businesses and let's say just team building type experiences, this would look totally different. Right? We would be putting in information and about the offer, the problem that we're solving for a local business in, I don't know, let's just say San Francisco, who is looking to do team building experiences. Maybe some of their challenges are about, hey, we've got blended teams. Some people work from home. Some people, are in person. How can we, build company culture? How can we increase the amount of time that employees are staying with the company, et cetera. It's an entirely different set of challenges, and our client there is different. Their challenges are going to look quite a bit different than somebody who might be coming in from New York or a different part of the world to have that best possible experience. All right, any questions? Let's just throw it out there before we move on to our content brainstorm. See, that part's going to come pretty fast. It'll be pretty simple, but no silly questions. Go ahead and ask, or Abby, if you saw, or Nikki, any in the chat that have come through.
Jim asked if you could share this with him afterwards.
Yeah, we'll come up with a good price for you, my friend. Yeah, I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to, Jim. Don't worry about that. I can do two things. What's nice with this ChatGPT is there's a share button in the top right. If you haven't played with that before, you can share conversations quite easily with members of the general public. Or if you do get into some of the paid plans, you can create a team plan, and obviously then you can decide, is this a private ChatGPT thread, or do I want to share it with my team, at Sedona Wine Tours, whatever the case might be.
Kelsey,
Okay, any other? Yeah, go for it.
do you need a paid plan to utilize the prompts for this? Would you
Short answer,
recommend a paid plan?
short answer is no. So I'm just gonna try and get this blinding sun out of my face. This might go this way. You don't need a paid plan. What's really cool about ChatGPT and the way that they've set this up is that their most premium versions are what you get on the free version. That being said, you'll quickly run into some of the limitations, which might be usage caps. And so for $20 a month, it is incredible. It removes some of those usage caps. Secondly, it allows you a more richer feature set, some of which is even something as simple as custom instructions. Settings. Let's go to not personalization. Oh, they moved some stuff around. It's a little bit beyond the scope here, but you do get access to some additional features that we highly recommend. But the great news is, no, you can start for free in the plan, and sometimes it might just mean, okay, you got to take a break for an hour and then come back. But for $20, there's a pretty rich feature set that we don't have time to go into. But yeah, great questions.
Very
Anything
cool.
else?
That's it.
Wait, I have a question.
Go for it, Jim.
My question is because this is really interesting, and I've been also trying to go over what Nikki sent me for building the ideal customer avatar with a whole bunch of prompts. Once we get this data, how do we use this data best to attract those ideal clients
What a
or
beautiful
market
segue. What a beautiful segue.
market our business? Because I'm a great tour guide. I love providing tours. That's where I shine. This
Yeah.
stuff we're doing makes my head spin.
No problem. So all we're doing now is creating that rich, more rich profile where I feel like the issue with most customer avatars, even the short summary that you sent over to me, didn't quite spend enough time on what? On their challenges. It didn't quite spend enough time on some of their desires, and the objections, concerns, and hesitations. So what we're doing in this stage is we're leveraging essentially an accelerated, we internally we call it a guest deep dive, where we're truly trying to empathize with and put ourselves in the shoes of our ideal target guests. From this marketing blueprint, we're now going to go to a content brainstorm. In our program, once you have this marketing blueprint, we can use it in dozens of different ways, leveraging AI to help speed up the process. But let's demonstrate. Now I'm scrolling along the bottom. I went past the example marketing blueprint, but let's go to the instructions for the content brainstorm. Like I said, step-by-step process. You can kind of read this on your own time, but we're going to start with the dreaming phase tab. Generate content ideas. So basically what we're doing is implementing this VIP marketing method. Put another way is we're going to do content marketing. So Jim, let's start brainstorming in this dreaming phase. What would be really useful? What might be entertaining, inspiring, or educational for your ideal target guests, the ones that we just used for this blueprint. So how's this going to work? Let's do a demo together. Here's the AI prompt. You're a world-class tour business marketing expert. World-class. I've hired you the best of the best, Jim. Working for my company. Using the VIP marketing blueprint, I've pasted below brainstorm seed content ideas for the dreaming phase of our ideal target guests customer journey based on Google's 5 stages of travel. As a reminder, this is when potential guests are just beginning to imagine their trip. They're open to inspiration. They're unlikely to know about our company or tours. Here are some additional prompts to get it going. What visually stunning aspects of our destination or experience might capture their imagination? Can we showcase the unique features of our tours to appeal to our target audience's desires? What interesting stories or facts about our destination could pique interest? This is all essentially marketing for this stage of the funnel. So let's go ahead and just copy this. We're going to go back over here just to prove that we can do this in a new chat. Where do I do that? Down here. That's annotate. Let's zoom. Here we go. We're going to start a brand new chat. I'm going to paste in here. You're working for my company. So I think we have to just replace that with
One
my,
Tours of Sedona.
yeah. Using the VIP marketing blueprint, I've pasted below Look, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter because I think I even built in a safeguard into the prompt. So it said, oh, no, it started rushing into it without doing it. So the safeguard didn't work. But basically, notice here, insert or paste your VIP marketing blueprint. Note, if this blueprint is not provided, please ask for it. And I did miss that. But basically what we need to do is we're going to go back, and I want you to copy that VIP marketing blueprint that you've just done. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to grab, I would say, your company description here. You obviously don't need the AI prompt generator. But I'm going to scroll all the way down and copy these kind of whatever columns A and B. And we're going to give this context. This is our company description, our market niche, our ideal target guest, and then most importantly, these challenges. So when I go back in here, I'm going to paste all of that. I'm going to try and paste that. Okay, let's try it again.
I think you have to do it in the message GP.
Yeah, let's try it this way. I'm going to copy it first. There we go. Your company description. Okay, so it's all in there. You can paste it first or second. Then I'm going to go back to our dreaming phase and grab that prompt. I'll go back and I'm going to paste this whole prompt in there. I'm just going to, I guess we want to clarify wine tours of Sedona. It should get that context though. All right, hit enter. Now what you're going to see is we've requested a table output, and that is to work in conjunction with this tool. And essentially what we're doing now is coming up with the type, essentially pieces of content. Oh, there's an error. All right, keep going. You know what we can also do? Just to show you that this works with other ones. Let's go ahead and take all that text. I'm just going to go over to Claude. Choose style. We're going to go with normal, paste. Okay, so I'm going to paste into Claude, which is Anthropic, which is funded by Amazon. But I found it actually excellent as well. So you're going to start to see, we can compare and contrast. And also if ChatGPT decides to, seems to be struggling right now. Maybe there's a lot of users on here. Let's try again. But I think Claude should come through for us. Okay. So here's the example of the content title, Jim. From Hidden Wine Paradise of Arizona's, the Hidden Wine Paradise of Arizona's Red Rock Country, a visual journey through Sedona and Verde Valley's most stunning vineyards, showcasing how dramatic red rock landscapes create an unforgettable backdrop for wine tasting. Pretty cool, right? So this is
Really cool.
Highlighting your destination. From sunrise to sunset, a perfect day of wine tasting in Sedona. You could create that content to meet people where they're at. Who, for example, for me, I've heard the term Sedona. I've never been there. I wouldn't know where to start in terms of like, what are some of the must-see wineries? You know, can I do it by bicycle? Is it too hilly? Are there places that I could, here you go. Here's a perfect day of wine tasting in Sedona. This kind of mirrors some of the New York Times content, or, you know, like 36 hours in type of content. That's really at that top of the funnel. Why Arizona's wine country is Southwest's best kept secret. Solo sipping, the ultimate guide to solo wine tours in Sedona. Beyond the bottle, stories behind Sedona's family vineyards. Seasonal splendor, the best times to visit Sedona wine country. Beautiful. Do you see
This
how
is amazing.
You see how useful this content would be? And ideally, if you're getting this in front of somebody, that comes with the pervasiveness. Okay, how are we going to publish this? First and foremost, in our coaching program, we talk about take these and get them into blog posts. Don't even worry about SEO optimization just yet. As long as the content is useful, get it onto as a blog post. 2, get it as an email. Are you doing email marketing? We could now send this as an email, and we could very quickly use ChatGPT or something like this to repurpose it. The pervasiveness then comes with, okay, if, what do we say? The Photographer's Guide to Sedona's Wine Country. That's interesting. Creating perfect tour memories. Maybe we could 5, magic moments that you can have on the wine tour. That could maybe exist as 5 different Instagram posts. We're just repurposing the content. It's the same piece of seed content. That's going to be 5 Instagram posts. Maybe that could be 5 shorts if we're going to do that on Facebook, like short video reels or something like that. So anyway, what we should be able to do I haven't done this from Claude as much, but let's see if it works. I'm going to take these ideas, and with any luck, we're going to be able to go back in and actually just paste this right into here. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Didn't like that. Let's try that. Okay. So didn't love that pacing. Let's try again and see if we can do it through ChatGPT. We can also kind of contrast to see what it's coming up with. I wonder also, there's different ways that this is a new thing. You'll see how Claude kind of has this side-by-side element. Is there a way for me to, oh, copy content? Let's try that one. You gonna let me paste in? Don't love that. Okay, so I know for a fact, ChatGPT, we can go ahead and paste this in and it will paste in nicely, right? And so now you have all of your content right here inside the document. Just in the interest of time, normally ChatGPT doesn't have a network error every few minutes here. And there's probably a way to do this. The other way might be, hey, let's go ahead and just do one row. Like if we just copied top to bottom, you could publish this or export this, download to a file. So there's a few different ways that we can do this. I'll download that just to make sure that we have a copy of it for you as well. But let's go for it.
I said thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Let's just start a new chat. We'll attempt with ChatGPT again. Again, we're now moving on to what? The planning phase. So if we go back here, we're going to do the same thing where we take our marketing blueprint. And as you can quickly see, you'll get vastly different answers for each one of us that's doing this because we've provided what? A lot of context and information about who we're serving, our business, etc. All right, so I've just pasted that chat. Let's see if ChatGPT can do it. Here's a table of 30 seed content ideas for the planning phase of your ideal target guest journey. So hopefully here, you're going to start to see content that's a little more middle of funnel. So planning, top 5 reasons to choose a private tour over a group tour. Oh my gosh, does this need to be on your website like yesterday? This is exactly one of the challenges that you're dealing with. Why choose a group tour? Why not just drive around myself? That'd be another big one. 10 must-try wines in the Verde Valley. Obviously, we're getting deeper into the other phase. Why Sedona is perfect destination for food and wine lovers. Private versus group tours, what's best for your travel style. Complete Sedona itinerary, pairing wine views and relaxation. Again, we see the same network error coming in here, but normally this will generate a full list of these 30 ideas, and then we'll come back and just paste them here now into our planning phase. Last demo, well, why don't we do this? Just because I want to make sure. I'm going to copy that same prompt and we'll go over to Claude and we'll get it to work on this while we go to the next one. Okay, I'm going to paste this into the prompt. You'll see that everything, slight nuances here. When you paste something really long in Claude, it kind of doesn't put all the text. It just kind of says, okay, we got all this. Let's see what this comes up with. Your guide to wine tour pricing, understanding value and inclusions. That's great. Like we're meeting people where they're at. They're trying to choose what's the best wine tour for them. There's lots on offer. A guide to wine tour pricing. How do we understand? What are the right questions? I love that we do it for our multi-day operators, but as well as day tour operators, like the 10 important questions to ask your tour operator. Right. And we're meeting people where they're at. Like, here's the right questions to ask. And ideally, if you're, maybe doing a better job or you have a higher quality than some of your other folks, you can tilt those questions to be favored to the way that you do your tours. Right. You might say like, I remember we were doing this with multi-day bike tours and people were asking like, do you have, what's the quality of the bikes? Are we just getting bikes from some local Croatian operator? Hey, what is how many vehicles, support vehicles do you have for a bike tour? Because bike tours might look similar from their sales pages, but hey, we provide 2 support vehicles, which means less time waiting by the road. If you get a flat, somebody's going to be there sooner. This can be something that's like a subtlety that's often lost. I'll download this as well. This is planning. Make sure that gets to you. But let's go back and do our last, and then we'll do our, obviously our, just a quick Q&A to wrap things up at the end. But now we're getting down to our booking phase, that final phase. All right, new chat. We're gonna paste it in, of course. Let's go back to that VIP marketing blueprint. I'm gonna copy This is still highlighted. If you're wondering how I'm just going to copy, I've just pulled the company description and over and then all the way down. So it's really just those two columns that we're pasting in. I'll go ahead and paste this in and hit enter. Do the same thing again, where we'll take this over to Claude. You can use Gemini. I haven't played as much with Gemini. I've been underwhelmed so far. So take that for what it's worth. If you are paying for Gemini or you have access to it, that's essentially Google's AI tool. In theory, this will still work, but I've just seen better results from Claude, especially for copywriting, storytelling, like crafting emails. I actually prefer Claude to ChatGPT. Okay, so again, very quickly, what is this lowest stage of the funnel? People, their last minute hesitations or concerns. Understanding our flexible cancellation policy. Your questions answered, some pre-booking FAQ. Meet your tour guides, the faces behind your experience. This is the type of content that's going to help do what? It's going to help reassure people. It's going to help offer some social proof, answer those last minute hesitations, concerns, questions they might have about cancellation policies. 5-star experience, what guests are saying. So you might be wondering, like, well, is this actually going to be like a blog post, or would this actually be a content that we would create? Is this an email that we would send? Yes, 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 and yes. Many tour operators do not have enough marketing content, I would say, in this bottom part of the funnel, right? This is going to be an opportunity. You could, as your marketing gets more sophisticated, you could even set up retargeting campaigns. So let's say we know that they've gotten to the checkout, but they did an abandoned cart, let's say, or we know that they visited a tour sales page. We could have Facebook retargeting or Google retargeting where we're sending them what type of content? Well, this bottom of funnel content, right? This is where the stage that they're at. If they've already gotten to your a tour sales page, then that's people are probably they're now aware of your offer at minimum, and we want to do what? We want to give them peace of mind. So hey, our price match guarantee, our best value promise, transportation details, door-to-door service, our virtual tour preview, like what to expect, booking FAQs, common questions answered. A lot of this stuff is pretty strong. The first timers booking guide, like clarifying what are the next steps? What do I need to do? How do I do business with you? If we come back, ChatGPT was able to limp out a good, a record so far, but pretty good. We should see similar things. What makes our tours worth the price, right? Tour gift certificates, again, offering like a different angle. It's like, hey, maybe if you're not ready to do a booking, we could do a gift certificate. Cancellation and rescheduling are flexible policies. Behind the scenes, how we curate exceptional experiences, right? Giving a little bit of behind the scenes. Here's how the sausage is made. Here's why we're doing it. A step-by-step guide on how to book your perfect tour. So we're going to go over to our booking phase, and we can go ahead and paste these in. So we've got way more than we need. If you know anything about these Excel sheets, you can go through and select. Like I said, if you follow the instructions, we're going to get you to select 8. So let's say you really like these ones here. You can quickly do like a filter or sort here. I think that might be under view, actually. Yeah, anyway, a bit beyond what we can do here. So yeah, sort Z to A or A to Z. So Z to A gets all of your check marks up to the top. So it's just a little tool where if you do want to sort as you go through these and check them off, then you can get the ones you've chosen right to the top. Look, we're at time. I don't know, I'll throw it to you, Nikki, if you have a moment for any questions or quick experiences, and then maybe we can wrap things up. But just put it out there. Is this something that you think will be useful over the next little while? See some value here.
Oh, yeah.
Katja.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jim,
Amazing.
out here. Dave, Katja, any sort of takeaways or quick thoughts on the experience there?
I thought it was amazing, really useful. It makes me, I'm gonna now have to go after Nikki's big document she sent me last week, which was really scary. But after seeing,
excited, Jim. I hear it in you.
I got a lot of homework to do now.
I mean,
I'm going to make sure you do it, Dave.
Love that, Dave. And here's the thing, right? Is you can see how rapidly we're able to do this. You know, this type of work might have been a multi-day planning session. It's something that could easily be put off. But with some tools like this, you know, essentially we're talking about building out a content calendar, even a simple one. We get 24 pieces of content for the next year. And then where do we go from here? It's like, okay, well, now let's execute. How are we going to create that content? Do we have someone on our team? Is it maybe even feeding these to a marketing agency or a marketing contractor or an internal hire? Or again, leveraging additional AI prompts to help get this sort of done and over the line. I have to be a little bit careful about, wow, I could just have AI write everything. Yes, but we have to remember this I, or the intimacy element of the VIP marketing method. Because guess what? If you can do this quickly, eventually in time, a lot of your competitors will. So we have to start leaning into what are the things that make you unique. So if I use this example of if I had a family-friendly tour company here in Vancouver, one of the things would be like, hey, here's some of the best playgrounds. I have young kids, so I'm thinking a lot about playgrounds these days. What are some of the best playgrounds that you can go to here in the greater Vancouver area? It's like I can create that list. I can have ChatGPT brainstorm it and probably create it. But what's going to be even better is if I can have it written by my guides team, like by some of the people that actually live here, and they can maybe give some insider sauce. Oh, I love going to this one because it's got that great ice cream shop next door. Or maybe if I'm going to turn that into Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or Facebook videos, if I here are like the 7 recommended playgrounds, get the guides out and go there and say, hey, it's Katja here from Vancouver, you know, family tours. This is one of my favorite playgrounds, here to bring the little ones because of this awesome flying fox. And, you know, kids just have a great time here. It's a nice way to see Stanley Park, right down the waterfront. A must see if you're coming to the city. Wow, did we just build like a human to human connection and intimacy that you're just not going to get from an AI generated, you know, blog post. So that's where it might be worth having an additional conversation. Abby, if you want to go ahead and share, maybe as we start to wrap things up, if you want to talk to some of us, or you like more of these tools, like I said, we have now hundreds of AI prompts like this to help you just make a massive amount of progress in your tour business. We'd love to share more with you. Shoot me an email at kelsey@guestfocus.com if you're interested in our coaching program before the end of the year. We also, if you want to book a free strategy call, all of December is more or less booked up with calls. I have something like 36 calls between now and the end of the year, which is exciting, but it's going to be lots of chatting. So shoot me an email if you're really interested, because we can do some chat over email. But also, I've opened up the calendar in January. So if you want to touch base in January, I'd love to do that too. But we'll leave it there unless there was any other questions that you saw Nikki come through in the chat.
No. Thank you so much, Kelsey. Everybody, I'm going to resend the links that that Kelsey has given us, and I definitely encourage you to take him up on the 45-minute strategy call. I know it will be really valuable for all of you guys. So we're grateful to have you on, and hopefully we could have you on again soon, Kelsey. We love having you on our workshop.
Thank you,
No
Kelsey.
problem.
Yeah.
Hey, my pleasure. And Jim, I'll send over the document there by email to make sure that you get
Awesome.
that. Thanks
Thank you so much, guys. I'm super excited.
Awesome. If you have any feedback, let us know. Happy to hear it.
Okay.
So
Will do. Aloha.
awesome, guys.
Well,
Well, have a
thanks so
good
much
Thank you
for sharing.
aloha. Have a good day,
Thank
guys.
you.